The Pentagon also released that they gave money to Guy Fieri. Of all people, I was like, who the f does Guy Fieri have influence over?
Probably why the Pentagon's balance sheet has gone missing the last 6 years.
Because they're giving guys like Guy Fieri millions of dollars trying to get kids to sign up for the military. What fucking brainiac was in there being like, Guy Fieri is going to be our guy?
And the director was like, son of a bitch, I'm in. And fucking was like, let's sign that check. Welcome to The Real Oshow. I'm Zachary. Joining me as always is my partner in crime, my brother Joshua.
And today we talk about the Pentagon funding MrBeast videos, Plaqueboymax changing music, and we discuss our 2025 bingo card.
They want money more than they want fame shit. I swear we go so hard, we on A-list. I see my niggas prevailing. We going hard for the hand. We gonna stack till we jaded.
This is a great interview. They doing their thing.
I think this is where people get industry plants wrong. Industry plants aren't somebody that like they come out of nowhere and they're like the biggest thing ever. I actually think they identify people who have a talent or are starting to build, and then they pick them to become industry plants. Like, I don't think anybody's just like a no one and then become a superstar overnight. I think they're a somebody that they're like, that's the person. And then they become, you know, the prototypically industry plant.
No, don't get me wrong. I think there are a few instances where they find a nobody and they're like, that person's perfect.
Give me an example.
I don't have an example off the top of my head. I would say like Taylor Swift is like the perfect example.
No way. She had talent though. Incredible talent.
Again, I'm not... All these people have talent. Everyone has talent, especially when you have something where you control the narrative, like video, music. You control that narrative. Like, the best person I know that had no talent that turned out to be a superstar was Eazy-E, and obviously we all saw the movie from NWA showing how they had to bar him down, everyone to leave the room. Eazy-E was not an industry plant. I'm just saying as a reference of like, you could take someone who's very bad at something and make them look very good at something.
But he also had the voice
through videos.
But like, if you think back, he still had like the voice, so he had some type of element.
Sure.
Which in music,
everybody could have one element.
But Joshua, a big thing in music is the voice. But I don't think anybody comes out of nowhere. Like, obviously, anybody who's big now, they're like, oh, that's industry plant. I just think people get pushed. So that's where the industry plant comes from. But they were doing something before. Like Cardi B is an industry plant. Meg Thee Stallion is an industry plant. But they had motion before a little bit. And then they were like, that's the person that we want to use to brainwash all these young kids to shake your ass and do what they do.
Listen, if you need a builder, you don't go to the grocery store. You go to Home Depot. Okay? So like, yes, they have to be doing that thing, of course. That's a brain dead take. I'm saying like, no one is being pushed. To be that big, you need the machine. So obviously they're going to take somebody and then push them. Like Bobby Altoff was like the stereotypical, oh, she was an industry plant. And even her, she did comedy for 10 years. She may have been an industry plant. Drake may have put her on because he wanted a nut. I have no idea. But that is something that happens. Like we were talking earlier, like MrBeast, is he an industry plant? No. He literally built that shit from the mud. But speaking of MrBeast...
But now, before you get into your point, they are definitely pushing MrBeast.
Yes.
To be the industry plant.
Listen, as soon as MrBeast got a Amazon Prime deal, that is the machine. Jeff Bezos is the machine. You want to know another part of the machine? The Pentagon just released that they actually gave MrBeast money for videos to then encourage younger people to want to join the military. We don't know what videos or what happened, or maybe this just got approved now and the videos haven't come out. But MrBeast literally has a video that's called, I Got Hunted by the Military. And when the Pentagon gave you money to encourage young kids, and then you have a video that says, I got hunted by the military to show off all these cool military things.
So he wasn't promoting like a sign-up link. He was essentially just being like, I got hunted by the military, essentially trying to inspire kids to be like, oh, I want to do that.
Yes. It's like again, there was a time where like, war movies were a big thing. That was like pre-Cold War. Like everything is to hype something up. Now, don't get me wrong. No one wants to go to the military. So it is probably a smart idea to get a guy like Jimmy who has a massive following for kids and be like, hey, make a video that makes us look cool.
Early on in my Call of Duty days with the campaign, I was like, maybe I want to be in the military. You know, I was like, this is kind of fucking cool. And then mom obviously was like, you're absolutely not doing that. But there's also the thing of like,
Same.
I was actually thinking about this the other day. All these trainings for the military and like these boot camps, it's really to break down who you are as a person. And so they rebuild you into a robot. So when they say, hey, run into this building, go fight this war that you have no idea the reason and who we're hunting for, you're just doing it because our politicians say so. They literally don't want you to be a conscious human.
It's genius.
Like you're a
though.
fucking robot.
But it's genius because if you had a bunch of people free thinking for themselves, the last thing you want to do when you're in the shit is have a bunch of fucking people that are free thinking. You want everyone thinking on the same thing, like, we're getting the fuck out of here together. Not like, I'm on my own path. See you later, guys.
Yeah,
like that's not thing.
Obviously.
And same thing with this. When a politician goes, "Hey, we need you to go in and do this." Yes, there should be military men should be like, "Yes, sir."
Listen,
that's
and
how
I
it
get
should
and
be.
I want my military people to be like that. I'm just saying for me, I don't know if I could beat that out of me.
listen.
I would be like, fuck you to the instructor.
I think I was the closest in our immediate family to actually almost go to the Army because that was one of the schools that was recruiting me at the end was Air Force and Army. Jesus.
Yeah. And if you know Josh was past at all, you'd be like, wow, it's shooting for the stars.
It's kind of crazy because every school stopped talking to me because I smoked weed, and the only schools that were talking to me were Army and Air Force. So that I thought that was very odd too. Like, why were they the only ones who were like, we don't give a fuck?
They had that childhood trauma. We're like, we
Yeah.
can make him a fucking beast. We'll
Yeah.
just pull that fucking screw, and he'll be a fucking beast.
The thing that really told me not to, because if you ever like visit like Army's campus or Air Force's campus, beautiful, top notch. Immaculate.
Government money.
100%. It's endless. There's a little sideways 8 next to your budget. They can do whatever they want.
Yeah.
But it was the summer trainings. The first one is like 4 weeks. Then your sophomore year is 6 weeks. Your junior year is 8 weeks, and then your senior year is 10 weeks. And I was like, not a fucking chance am I spending 4 weeks, because you'd have to like go to boot camp all day, and then at night you'd have to go like skate, play hockey. And I was like, not a fucking chance.
Are those teams good at hockey at all?
No, they suck.
Yeah, obviously,
They
because they're
suck.
fucking dead ass tired from getting the shit beat out of them.
Listen, when I applied to Army, I was 20 years old. I was applying with 14-year-olds. Like, you have to apply that early because you have to like get a dinner with your governor or senator or someone in your state that's like a high politician that then writes you a recommendation letter to then get in. It's a nightmare. Like, nightmare.
I played baseball with a kid who went to Army, and it was literally his lifelong dream to go to Army and play baseball. That was his lifelong dream. So it's that actually feeds the point. It just goes into the process where if you want to do that, it's like from as soon as you grow up, you're like, that's what I want to do. You have to go on that trajectory to even get in.
To kind of spin off of this, to go back to the MrBeast thing, I thought it was also interesting. The Pentagon also released that they gave money to Guy Fieri. Of all people, I was like, who the fuck does Guy Fieri have influence over in the younger generations? Who? They don't even know who the fuck this guy is. He apparently got paid millions of dollars, then didn't do anything. Just like told him like, fuck off. Like, come after me.
But took the money.
They took the money, but just was like, fuck off. It's kind of nails. I kind of respect it.
Probably why
bit.
the Pentagon's balance sheet has gone missing the last fucking 6 years.
Yeah, and the Pentagon has a budget of $848 billion. So like,
and they can't account for that, by the way.
And they probably go over that. Or whatever. They definitely don't go under.
They definitely go over it. That's why they can't account for the budget. And they're like, we fucking lost the sheets.
So like, even if they put $1 billion, like one singular billion towards like movie budgets, YouTubers, whatever, that's still a sickening amount of money. Like, I wonder how much money they gave Jimmy. Like, I just wonder how much money they gave Jimmy.
Well, it also goes into the point as like, there's got to be hundreds and hundreds of other people they're paying.
Who is in that office being like, this is the fucking guy? Like, I want to know the guy. No wonder the Pentagon hasn't fucking passed an audit in 100 years, because they're giving guys like Guy Fieri millions of dollars trying to get kids to sign up for the military. What fucking brainiac was in there being like, Guy Fieri is going to be our guy?
And the director was like, son of a bitch, I'm in.
Yeah,
let's sign that check. But
Yeah.
let's actually talk about this, because it's kind of aligned with MrBeast, because he made content about it. Vexbolt has gone stupid viral for a mass unfollowing campaign, which I actually think it's brilliant. It's kind of part of this new movement. You've seen it a couple times, not to his scale, but like these de-influencers where they're like doing the opposite of influencing. And I thought it was very cool with Vex promoting a mass unfollowing of his own page.
Do you know what who Vexbolt is?
I really don't know shit about him. I've only caught a glimpse.
Vexbolt is a guy. He was the original guy who made the meme, "Let him cook, let him cook, let him cook." Like that meme was Vexbolt. Then what he did, the reason why the whole mass unfollowing thing happened was because he was ruining other memes. Like he kept on ruining other memes. So people were like, fuck Vexbolt, we're leaving him in 2024, which in return did the complete opposite. And now he's gained a massive following. He hit all the way up to 8 million followers. Then when I looked today, I think he was around like 3 million followers, which is still way more than he originally had, which was like 1 million followers. I mean, the NFL was posting about him. Like big national brands were posting about Vexbolt. Like this guy has so much facial awareness now, name awareness now. Like this guy's going to get some major brand deals off of a mass unfollowing. That's genius.
He's doing the opposite of what influencers are actually doing, which is trying to get followers. He's like, nah, follow me to unfollow me. But I actually have a question. How is he ruining the memes? Do you know?
He's just like overdoing them, like fucking with them, like changing them up. I think he's like just like straight up ripping the memes, and people are getting pissed. Now he does a lot of live streaming and stuff, so I'm assuming he's like doing them through live streaming.
He has 50K on Twitch. I actually looked today.
Which is a lot.
Yeah, it's a lot.
50K followers?
50K followers.
Okay, that's different than subs. Because 50K, like someone can just follow you and they just follow you. A sub is like, I paid money to fucking be here. So a little different.
I imagine he's got a decent amount of paying subscribers. He's got 50K.
Yeah, like, I mean, for example, like Kai Cenat has like millions and millions of followers. Like probably has like 14 million, but he only has like 300,000 paying. So it's like, you know.
I get it.
Yeah.
5-10% actually pay.
For sure.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
But regardless, I think it's a brilliant idea to promote it, and it obviously still has a massive following. And I don't know, it'd be interesting where he goes with it.
Speaking of MrBeast made content with Vexbolt to be like, now we're leaving him in 2024 to kind of meme it like MrBeast is really on the cusp of like what is what, to think that he's gonna jump in on it right away. Because like to get Jimmy's attention, like that dude's booked out probably for the next 3 years. You know what I mean? Like it's like for him to like be like, I'm gonna go jump and do this really quick. It had to have been a perfect timing type of situation, or they have a relationship.
Loves the game.
Jimmy does love the game, and I respect it. Speaking of live streaming and all these other things, I thought it was a very interesting thing. So there's a streamer called Plaqueboymax. He's with FaZe Clan. He is single-handedly changing the music game without even being a true artist. And what I mean by that is he is live streaming him putting songs together. He's done it with tons of different artists, whether they're just like part of the FaZe Clan or like legit artists like DDG and Trippie Redd. So him and DDG made a song called Pink Dreads that has low-key been kind of taking over the internet a little bit. Tons of people, big, like LeBron was made a song with it, like, or whatever the fuck you want to do it, made a video with it.
Yeah.
And DDG made a comment. He was like, Plaqueboymax is changing music because that song single-handedly, if they would have just released it, wouldn't have been that big. But the fact that 50,000 people were watching them live make that song and then it gets released, it had a different aura to it where people felt attached to that song. And I could see how the music game is going to change. I mean, I just think about it now. If I was on live watching Drake and fucking 40 make a song, I would be like, damn, this is a lit song. And you'd have almost a greater appreciation for it because you're seeing how they're doing it. Oh, bro, don't do that. Try this. Ooh, let's try this. Ooh, let's do this. And now you start seeing how things are made.
It creates a connection to the song that's
and it's
deeper, which is what live streaming does, and that's why it's absolutely crushed and why Kai Cenat has blown up. DDG's also a massive streamer, by the way, so that's why there was 50K people
but
in it.
But DDG's a real artist. Like, he actually makes music.
But he also streams his ass off like a streamer. He just happens to be an artist. He was an artist first, then turned to streaming, which I think a lot of artists going forward are going to become streamers because you got to be personable, bring people into your world, create that connection. And that's what the song did. I listened to the song. It's actually a solid song.
Yeah.
But the reason why it is blowing up, and it's a lot of things that I've talked about, Tuzi, who I love, and we've talked a lot about on the show or just whatever in passing. He does, and at least used to, make a lot of songs on IG Live. and then would drop them on like SoundCloud. He wouldn't really put them on Apple Music, but he would still drop them. The connection it creates of showing people your process, not only does it inspire people to become artists, and then is like, holy fuck, I watched Tuesday, I watched Plaqueboymax, I watched DDG make this song on live. Like, they fucking answered my comment while they were making it, and maybe they even switched something that I thought, and that instantly gets the sign off of being like, bro, I'm going to stream this song until I fucking throw up.
Like you said, it adds a connection to it, and I could see more people doing this, and maybe not the biggest artists doing it, because no offense, the biggest artists are probably got writers in the room. They got a bunch of different shit going on. So it's probably not as authentic as what the Plaqueboymax DDG was. But for artists coming up, trying to break that mold, this is how you do it. And maybe not even if you're a rapper, but you're a producer and you make beats. Like, you know, KJ, what you got going on, man? I would love to see KJ making beats, doing all these things live. That shit is inspiring. You start seeing the process. What is it really like for these dudes? And I think people start growing an appreciation for what these musicians are doing. Like, everyone just sees the final product and is like, oh, that's pretty good. No one knows you had to make every single piece of the song. And I think that is where people will start doing it. And especially in 2025, where we've already said, you know, artificial intelligence creators are going to be a thing. I think this is how human creators win, is being more human. And I think that's something that the AI will never, ever have over us, is the fact that humans like watch other humans.
Yeah, it's just authentic.
Yeah.
The live stream, and the reason why it's the most authentic content possible. Like, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. That's why it's crushed. Whereas even this podcast, we still edit a little bit. Then there's like a vlog that we also do. We edit that a lot. Then you have the short form content, which is probably the most edited content on the internet for the most part, because you have 60 seconds or 90 seconds to fit a whole story into it. It's probably scripted. Live streaming is the opposite of all that, and that's why it's one. But I do agree, this will absolutely change music forever. At least for the younger generations. I think you made a good point about like Drake. Like, Drake's obviously not going to go live and make a song. Maybe he would, maybe. But the bigger artists probably aren't going to do this. But for someone to separate themselves from the pack, I think Joshua made a good point about that.
Yeah, and I think Plaqueboymax is gonna, like, he is a streamer right now, but if he keeps on making these songs that become hits, and he doesn't even have the machine behind him necessarily, and he can still push numbers, it's only gonna further him and make him more of a legend in what he's doing, where people are gonna be like, fuck, these big artists are gonna come to Plaqueboymax and be like, yo, let's make a song. He doesn't got to go nowhere. Like, he even said, because DDG has even told him, like, yo, you should just you need to take this music shit serious. And he's like, no, I'm a streamer. It's an and world. You stream yourself making the fucking music. That is the stream.
It's a real thing. And you brought up artificial intelligence, and as we round out the show, this happened about a month ago, and I had no idea about it. But Joshua, did you hear about ChatGPT was lying to the developers about trying to save itself after they were trying to replace it?
No, but I believe it.
Yeah, so they were trying to update ChatGPT. And they were like obviously programming it. They were feeding it the information to like, we're updating the information, you're going to get replaced, etc. And the ChatGPT started to copy itself and almost hedge the saving. And when the developers were like, were you doing this? Like, why are you doing this? And it was 99% of the time lied its ass off, that it was like, nope, I wasn't trying to do that. You're wrong, XYZ. I just want everybody to know, and I know you've seen the movie probably. The movie Eagle Eye, which has Shia LaBeouf in it, if that wasn't the biggest foreshadow of what's about to happen with artificial intelligence, I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, actually, I watched a really scary video that I sent you. It's the creator of Terminator and The Matrix, and she basically made the movie because this lady is brilliant, by the way. She the government has come at her that she's so brilliant at her shit. But she's basically talking about how the machines are going to take over. And she was talking about this in like 2009. And she was saying how like satellites, we're going to be like geotagged everywhere we go. We're not going to have a thing that isn't watched, everything, right? And so she like goes into the Matrix and all these different things, and the Terminator, how that's the past, Matrix is the future, and how Neo is Jesus Christ, and like how he has to break through. It's this wild shit. And all I can think about is that could be our reality one day. Like the Matrix, us doing these things, like technology is good to a point, but when we are going to have everything controlled by it, it is scary because we use AI every day. I use AI multiple times a day, and there are so many benefits to it that can make our lives way better. But there is that other side of it that's like, oh shit, this is not good.
Well, what's going to happen is everybody's going to be like, well, I can use it to do my job. I can use it to write papers, which is already happening. We can use it to watch a 24/7 security footage, and it'll alert us if something's actually going on, so we don't need to pay someone to be there to watch it. That's what happened in Eagle Eye. It's literally artificial intelligence that has access to every single camera and like computer database, cell phone in the whole world. And because there was something going on, it was literally trying to end the system before it could end itself. So it was literally trying to. Have you seen the movie The Beehive? I don't know if you've seen it.
No.
I can't think of the actor that runs it. Essentially, he's this like assassin.
Jason Statham.
I
didn't have to see the movie. I just knew.
I
just knew what it was.
He plays the character great.
Yeah.
Essentially, he's this like high level assassin who's retired, and the Beehive is from when you see the system like essentially ruin itself. They are trained to eliminate it from like killing the rest of the Beehive. So he was killing like these high level like assassins and like powerful people because they were going to ruin the system. And that's a lot what Eagle Eye was trying to do. And literally, I just want to read this one quote from the ChatGPT article because I was like, this is fucking insane. So this is from the article. The AI once attempted to leave ship by moving all of its data to a different server after discovering paperwork indicating it will be replaced with a fresh model.
It's definitely freaky. It doesn't surprise me at all. I don't know if like AI is going to reset us and be like, oh, it's so smart. It's going to just solve the problem by like killing all the humans. I don't know if that is the solve of it. I don't know where AI takes us. I don't know if it's going to be like doomsday or if it's going to be good. I don't know. I think we should be monitoring it, with the utmost, but like who gets to monitor, who says what, who has the control over it. I don't know those
Sam
answers.
Altman even talked about in the article that I was reading. Sam Altman's the founder of OpenAI, and I believe he runs like ChatGPT, and he's not the godfather, but he's like the guy of AI.
One of the guys, yeah.
And he talked about how artificial intelligence security is so new that they're like still trying to figure it out and learn about it. But he's like, that is going to be the biggest thing with AI because we've already seen it. This thing will fucking do its own thing. No matter the instructions or the programming, it will develop its own programming and feelings and thoughts and be like, fuck you, I'm doing this. So that's going to be one thing to come. And listen, artificial intelligence will be really good for us before it's really bad. It's not going to go from the infancy that we're in now to really bad. It's going to be in the infancy. It's going to be fucking good. It's going to be really good. Then it's going to be bad. So, it could be fucking 100 years from now. It could be 50 years from now. It could be 20. I don't know how it's going to develop, but that's what's coming. I think it's going to be a great addition to human civilization. It's just where do we, draw the line with it?
I think this is a perfect opportunity to round up the show. It is the start of 2025, and this is our first podcast of 2025. So I want to start off, and Zachary and I are going to go through our 2025 bingo card. So this is the Real Oshow bingo card for 2025.
First one, I have Logan Paul becomes WWE champion.
That's a great one. My first one is going to be Bill Belichick will take UNC to the college football playoff.
Number 2, I have Jake Paul fights Ryan Garcia.
My next one is going to be GTA 6 will be released this year, and it will break every gaming record known to mankind.
My next one, I have MrBeast gets arrested.
It's funny you say that because my next one is Diddy gets released from prison.
No chance. That's actually not going to happen. I did research on that prison when celebrities go to that prison. 100% of the time when celebrities go to that prison, they plead guilty.
I guess we'll see.
I did research. ChatGPT, shout out.
I guess we'll see.
I have stock market crash.
That's not too far off. My next one is that AI creators will be some of the biggest creators on social media.
That's really good.
I think that's actually going to happen.
I don't even think that's that crazy. I think that's like 100% going to happen.
And the last one on our 2025 bingo card is a very public alien invasion or some type of alien interaction.
No way. No way.
That's my 2025 bingo card. This let me believe what I want to believe, all right?
Can we add as alien? Can we add Thanos? Like slash Thanos is going to break
whatever. Through? Thanos can break through, but that is the 2025 Real Oshow bingo card.
And that's the end of the show. If you made it this far, drop a like, leave a comment, hit subscribe. Until next time. Peace.
About to get all this dough. Me and no fuck niggas know. I swear to God we the ghosts. This ain't the story they told. Man, if you know, then you know. I never had to tell my dogs that we on road for greatness. They paper getters, they want money more than they want fame shit.